We are back. We are back. It's the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I need you hitting the buttons right now. Hopefully the boomers get their post notifications. This is our second live stream of the day. We always do 2 live streams on Friday. The second live stream has been geared towards general self-improvement, crypto diet, and exercises. And today we're going to be talking about the truth about meditation. It's a topic that we've skirted here very briefly with, and I want to talk about meditation further out there, give my personal opinion, the benefits, and maybe some cost involved as well. Jojo is here. I see you. Yo, boomers. Jojo, did you catch our last live stream earlier this morning? We had some technical difficulties and we got knocked off about 3 times before finally getting back on our 4th attempt, and that one seemed to go through loud and clear. I'm wondering if the boomers got their post notifications out there. Let me know, Jojo Wave. And guys, please touch the buttons for me, the like, the subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. I need you buttoning it up and doing whatever we can to let these algorithms include us in the search results so that others can see and hear the good crypto word and the good self-improvement word that we've been spreading here on the daily out there. Shout out to Jojo and the rest of the boomers that are tuning in. Again, this is our second live stream. I had to fire up a few of them before I had that one get through sodded. We did about 30 minutes out there. We talked about possible Bitcoin ally at the World Bank, and we'll continue to spread that good crypto word every single day. On Fridays, we're talking about other things that are ancillary to the crypto, and today we're talking about meditation. Other live streams, we've talked about everything from the war on masculinity to NoFap, to keto, intermittent fasting, and other things like strong lifting and generally lifting more weight and becoming stronger out there. So I enjoy these second broadcasts on Fridays, and as a matter of fact, I've mentioned to the boomers my intent to do another broadcast during the week, perhaps maybe on Wednesday or sometime at night, where we could continue to talk about things that are a little bit off topic of crypto that still tie into the general self-improvement, alternative frequencies, and indeed it's because of crypto that I think we've been brought together with this alternative frequency, whether it comes to economics, self-improvement, diet, exercise, and more. We starting to come to the realization, and some are awakening to the fact that there's a lot of lies out there, guys. Not only in the form of money that is not backed by anything but somebody's word out there, but also with diet. You know, we've revealed here our opinion that the food pyramid is fake. It's funny bunny, and it's just a propaganda to sell more carbohydrates and to dumb down the population, arguably. Now, we don't have direct proof out there, but I think we should be eating more fats. You know the deal. I was lurking the previous stream but didn't get the ding ding for it, says Jojo. Okay, that's good. At least you were there, and that's what matters out there. I appreciate you, Jojo, another crypto brother that's here in the box out there. Today we're talking about the truth about meditation. It's something that I practice for quite some time, meditating. And I had some positive results, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the more solid results that I had with meditation is when I started doing grounding. And what I mean by grounding is literally taking off your shoes and stepping on the earth, because your body has an electric circuit to it, and just like electricity should be grounded, I believe your body should be as well. We walk around on rubber soles all day, and one could argue that your body's just not grounded into the earth. So you can start off by taking off your shoes and staying grounded. Meditation is something that I see a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but more people getting into. But I think the point of this broadcast, guys, is to let you know what I believe to be the truth about meditation. I see some benefits, and myself included, from meditating. But the more I meditate and the more that I listen to the good word, I think that meditation is just a simulated prayer. Okay. And I use that word simulation. Okay. Because indeed, simulations are things that are not real. Okay. So, the more I look into it, those that are meditating are just simulating a prayer. So it looks like meditation is a way for those that are perhaps atheists or that don't believe in the good man upstairs to flirt with spirituality. But let's keep it 1,000, guys. It's still a simulation. Okay, so, you know, I want to ask you, do you want to deal with the real or do you want to deal with the simulation? And the more I look at it, I'm starting to see that meditation is just a knockoff. It's just a counterfeit prayer. Okay, as much as you guys may not want to hear about the good word, I think you need to hear it. The more I meditate, the more I realize that, you know, there's no reason to meditate. You should be praying, okay, to the big man upstairs, whatever religion you may be, you know, so be it. Shout out to Trike NYC. Whoa, I see you out there, Trike NYC 123. So, you know, if you want to get the TLDR of what this broadcast is about, I believe that meditation is just a simulation of a prayer. Okay, there's different prayers that you could do. There's different ways to approach it, and it should be done in private, in my opinion. I was reading a verse the other day in the book of Matthew that said that you should be praying in public, not on the streets out there, which leads me to believe and question, not believe, question other religions that they perhaps maybe, you know, they try to show off that they're praying all the time. So I don't know about that, guys. My understanding is should you be doing it in private. And for a while, I was meditating in private myself. I was doing the grounding as well, which I do think that it kind of ties into the physical world and grounding yourself there electricity wise, for lack of a better word. But I think that meditation at the end of the day, guys, is just a meme. It's a fake prayer out there. Prayers work well for me. It can ground you daily, says Willie T. Right. So the question is, guys, why would you meditate instead of pray? Okay. Ask yourself that question. Like, why, if it costs the same time and effort to do one or the other, then why don't you go for the real instead of the simulation? Okay. And again, this ties into our alternative frequency. Why would you want a fake paper bill when you can have real money in the form of gold or perhaps Bitcoin? Okay. Always go for the real out there. There's a lot of memes out there and they're fake. They're not real, guys. It's just a simulation, a simulacra. Shout out to John Baudrillard if you guys have tuned into that book. But indeed, we live in a world of simulacra, a lot of simulations out there. And you need to ask yourself, are you dealing with the simulation or are you dealing with the source? Okay, are you dealing with the real, with sound out there? It's the other way around, honestly. Okay, and that's what you think. I mean, again, this is what I feel is my personal opinion. And I ask you this question, you know, if you could do the same, if you could do either or, would you want the real or would you want the simulation? Meditation is source. Now, prayer is source out there. Trike NYC. Prayer is source. Again, you heard about prayer before you heard about meditation. Meditation is but a simulation of prayer, is my personal opinion. And again, I'm not here to debate it. And if you want, this is probably not the stream for you. But that's my personal opinion. No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. One is a simulacra and the other one is the real deal. Okay. And this goes back to, you know, like the meme of The Secret, for instance, or a lot of the hermeticism that's being taught out there, that you could get whatever you think of and that you're the master of your own universe. And that works if you're dealing within a simulation. Okay. But that doesn't work in reality, in my personal opinion. And what's been provided us with the good word out there. So you got to ask yourself, are you dealing with the simulation? Because in a simulation, you could be the master of your universe. But again, that's still a simulation and it's not real. So you got to deal with the source material. The source material is prayer. And again, why would we be meditating when we could be doing something that's a lot more real? And there's a lot of similarities, okay? But one is a knockoff and it's a counterfeit in my personal opinion. Check out Falun Gong is illegal in China. Check out Falun Gong is illegal in China. I have no idea what that means. Pepe El Toro. Trike says, I watch you every day. Shout out to you, Trike. I appreciate you tuning in. And, you know, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to give out my personal opinion. And, you know, if I wanted to be debated with, you know, I'll put out, you know, let's debate. I would change the title of this video and put meditation debate. But it's not, I'm not here to debate it. I'm here to give you my personal opinion and what I believe is true. Let me know what Falun Gong is. Whatever that is illegal in China, Pepe. But listen, That's not to say that you can't benefit from some simulations out there. That's fine. You know, some are okay, and but you need to understand what the truth is. If you're dealing with with something that's not real, at least you should know that it's not real. Listen, we got to deal with fake money on the daily, but we need to know that it's not real. Okay, and that's one step towards the truth. Okay, we still got to deal with it. And I see people dealing with their meditation and they're doing what they got to do. But it's a way for certain people that don't want to subscribe to, you know, theism, for them to feel good about spirituality. It's the way I'm seeing it. Richard says, for those who have stops, keep an eye out for possible Dow crash. The charts show a lot of similarities to the 1929 crash. I'm not surprised out there, Richard. We've been bracing for impact for some time now, and we've discussed on our prior live streams that the price of gold has gone up, and it seems like the demand for gold has gone up. Why? Because gold is real. It's not a simulation, guys. It's not fake. Okay, people want realness. Okay, that's why you're tuning into Champagne, because I'm not faking you guys out. Okay. Those with their own farm are richer than us, holding cryptos as life is true value. And I bought cryptos only to buy a castle farm in the future. Let me repeat that. Those with their own farm are richer than us, holding cryptos as life is true value. And I bought cryptos only to buy a castle farm in the future. That's a true statement. Okay. But you can farm and hold cryptos. Okay. You can farm and hold cryptos. And that's not saying that cryptos, are not legit, but let's keep it 1,000. Cryptos are a simulation of a currency online, and that's real online. But even that in itself, it's still an idea. It's still a simulacra, but it's mathematically backed, and it's a lot sounder than the fiat system that we have now. But the truth is that the true currency, because there's different types of currency. I think we've talked about this before. It's not only the paper money or the gold, but you have currency in the form of resources, water on your land, the food that you're growing, the knowledge that you have, and other things. So, you know, those things are definitely richer than cryptos in itself, because at the end of the day, if you have all the crypto in the world, you're still going to need to anchor it in reality and perhaps buy a castle, like Revolution has said, buy farming equipment, and buy real tangible things in the real world that are actually going to help you, because crypto in itself is not going to do anything unless it's applied and that current is actually charging something up. So I view cryptos as my gateway to wealth. And indeed, it could be. It could be because mathematically it's factual as compared to something like fiat that is based on nothing but promises. It's based on nothing but promises. Check out Philip K. Divi, the founder of the simulation theory. From him, the Matrix movie came out, Blade Runner. He said... I don't know about Philip K., but, you know, all that Matrix movie is based on the book by John Baudrillard. It's called Simulacra and Simulations. He's a philosopher, and, you know, the premise of the book is that everything that we see is a simulation. Even the words that we use are simulating something from that, basically that he can't find the real source. But I argue to him, you know, Champagne, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I believe in the big man upstairs, and I think that's the truth. Some people may not agree with me, and I'm not here to debate you if you don't agree with me, nor am I here to try to change your mind. I'm just speaking what I believe is truth. Richard O says gold can easily double or triple. That's my opinion. Yeah, it could. It could. Philip K. Dick is the founder of the simulation. Never heard of him, but I invite you to check out John Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation. He's an academic, and he talks about philosophy. So it's not a fictional book, or it's not someone giving their opinion. It's a philosophical book. I don't know about Philip K. Dick. I don't know him. You know, I had no idea about that, and I'll check it out when I can. Gold can easily double or triple. That's your opinion. Yeah. Silver as well. I think that silver right now is more undervalued than gold is. And one could argue that there's more applications for silver in the manufacturing industry than gold. I don't know if that's true, but some say it is. If you're just tuning in, it's the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm speaking about what I believe is the truth about meditation. While you may benefit from it, and I have as well, I've came to the realization that meditation, in my personal opinion, is a simulated prayer. And I use that word simulation because indeed simulations are knockoffs. They're not real. So what you're doing is a not real prayer. So why even do something in a simulation when you can get the real thing? Gold has not many applications for real world use. There's plenty of applications for gold. Gold is one of the best conductors of electricity, and most of the satellites in space are fitted with gold. So, you know, that's not true. There's gold in a lot of high-end electronics, specifically satellites that are orbiting the globe. Pepe says, Falun Gong is an exercise meditation practice in China for a while. If you get caught doing it or teaching it, you will get thrown in jail. Most people end up dead with their organs missing. Crazy shit. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that, Pepe. So that's a, you know, a form of meditation. Okay. I think a key distinction between meditation and prayer is the perspective, says Jojo Wave. When meditating, you're gathering your own thoughts for personal understanding. Right. And that's that I think that, you know, there's some certain truth to that. But herein lies what I believe is the problem. If you're only meditating, okay, and you're gathering your own thoughts for your own personal understanding, and you don't think that there's something that is above you that could bless you and help you, and you think that you're the master of your own destiny, then you are basically thinking that you could do the same work that God can. And that's not factual if you believe in the Lord. When praying, you're directing your thoughts and emotions towards a higher power. Both are beneficial. And again, you know, I'm not saying that meditation is not beneficial. It's a simulation of a prayer. At the end of the day, I'd rather have the source. I'm going to keep it 1,000 to you. You can make medicine using silver bullion and a car battery. Check it out on YouTube. Yeah, someone had mentioned about people putting like silver coins in their drinks or something to sanitize liquids, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about that, but it seems like something I've heard before, Revolutionist. Thanks for sharing. Silver predicted to outpace gold, just like Litecoin will outpace Bitcoin. He says universal vibes. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if Litecoin will outpace Bitcoin, but certainly Charlie Lee didn't intend it to. And he said that that was never his intent. Willie T says prayers get banned. Get banned? That's what's up. Yeah, and that's another thing, guys. You could talk easily about meditation, okay? But as soon as you start talking about God and prayer, people start feeling some type of way, which leads me to believe that then that's when you're over the target, okay? Once you start mentioning the wrong words on these live streams, they try to snipe you out the box, okay? They don't want you saying that you believe in God and that there's a higher power out there. Okay, they want you to think that you are in control of everything, you personally, and that God has nothing to do with it. And I think that's false, and I think that's where the scam lies, if you ask me. All people together equal one God is natural intelligence, says Pepe El Toro. Derek McLean says, I think praying and meditation are the same. Again, that's your personal opinion, and I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to give you my personal opinion. What I believe is that meditation is great, but it's a simulacra. It's a simulation of something that could be even more serious and more real, which is the prayer. But again, some people don't want to go down that route. And I understand it. Champagne was there at one point because religion has a lot of trickery in it. And those that are at the head of a lot of these organizations are spreading fake news out there. Okay. And they're using the good word to control you. And, you know, some people are come to the realization of that, and that puts them off. And then they say, listen, I don't want nothing to do with religion or with God. I'm going to go ahead and be the master of my own destiny, and I'm going to do everything on my own. And that's a trick, in my opinion. I think praying and meditation. Okay, we already read that. Pepe says Thomas Campbell, who wrote My Big Toe, is about the simulation. Okay, I've never read that one. But if you're into simulations and simulacra, look up John Baudrillard. He's a French philosopher. And those ideas are, a lot of them are at the heart of what the Matrix movie is all about and stuff like that. So, you know, perhaps maybe we should share that, because I have another channel, a philosophy channel, and and some boomers know about this, but I really don't share it here. Where I've shared a lot of information of Jean Baudrillard. I have some videos floating. Do I share that here? Maybe yes, maybe no. I usually don't cross those. That channel is also anonymous. If you came across it, then good for you. If you didn't, maybe you could end up coming across it, but do your research. It's called, the gentleman's called John Baudrillard, B-A-U-L-L-D-R-I-D-A-D. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. B-A-U, though. It's Baudrillard. That's how it's spelled, so. I need to do more research, champ. What's the difference between praying and meditation? Listen, Derek, I'm sharing my opinion here, okay? I'm not saying that things are fact, but I believe the truth about meditation, okay, especially in the mainstream the way it is, it's just a simulation of prayer. There's a lot of people that they're okay with talking about meditating and, you know, the secret and everything that you could believe could be true, when really they need to be talking to God directly. They need God's help. Okay, and they need his blessing, is what I believe. So, you know, if you feel some type of way about that, you know, that's good for you. You know, hopefully, you know, you could see things differently. I'm not here to try to change your mind. I'm just trying to explain to you the way I look at it. I know I'm asking. I really don't know. Yeah, you know, do your own research, you know, and figure it out. Maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe you go a different route, and that's cool. And I think that, and I'm open to these things, you know, the open discussion, but I'm not here to debate it either. You know, I'm not here for a debate. And I'll tell you this much. I came to that realization through meditating so much, and then, you know, reading the good book. And I'm like, well, hold up here. This meditation stuff is just really like a knockoff of prayer. You know, and some people are saying that the difference is that, you know, one, you're gathering your own thoughts, and the other one that you're looking for a higher power. But at the end of the day, if you don't believe in that higher power, then you're an atheist, and maybe you can go down that route. But that's not the route for me. I'm a believer. So, you know, if you're not a believer, then there's nothing for us to talk about, you know. But I look at it like this. If you're a believer, then you should be praying instead of meditating. Okay? Derek says, no, I'm not trying to today. I came into the live stream a little late, so I'm lost. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Revolution says, if you guys make millions on cryptos, what's the one thing you really want? Listen, the one thing I really want is complete freedom and independence, and for the family to thrive. Not really material things. I mean, I'll take the castle, and I like the idea of the castle, revolutionist, and hopefully you grow your own crops and you have some sort of self-sustainability out there. But that's, you know, the way I look at it. Scientists have found ones and zeros, the fabrics of space, which is exactly like computer code. You know, that to me, it sounds very interesting, but that's, you know, what does that mean? That the fabric of space is ones and zero. What could they reprogram the reality then? Okay, I mean, I haven't seen it, and can not only that, if that's true, could they predict the future? You know, it sounds cool, but I'm not convinced. It sounds like a cool thing. Yeah, the scientists have found, but you know, a lot of these scientists are funny bunny out there. A lot of the stuff that's being pushed as science hasn't even gone through the scientific method, and it can't be reproduced all the time. It's just scientific theory, like the theory of evolution. It's a theory. It's not the fact of evolution. It's a theory of evolution. So it could be scientific theory, but not fact. There's a difference out there. And it goes again to what I'm saying. You need to be able to differentiate simulations from reality. Okay. A lot of this stuff is simulations. Champ, so you're saying meditation is the same as prayer, so people just call it meditation even though they are actually praying to God. No, that's not what I'm saying. I say that what I'm saying here is that some people are meditating and some people are thinking that they're just the master of their own universe, that they can just think of the secret, they can meditate, and everything comes to them, and it's that they're in control of everything. And I look at it like, no, that's not the truth. Like, you're in control of a lot of things. You have free will, but at the end of the day, there's a higher power that is the master of the universe, not you. Pepe says, I'm not convinced either. Need more evidence. If you can't recreate it all the time, then it's not scientific. What's scientific is the iPhone. That's like science that works. You could reproduce the iPhone all the time. You know what works and doesn't. That's like a fact. It's there in your hands. But everything, you know, there's a lot of other stuff that's just theory. Like, you can't reproduce evolution in a laboratory. Like, you know, where is it? You can't reproduce it. So it's not science. It's just theory. Pepe, I would consider moving to Brazil and setting up over there, as over here in the UK, it's overcrowded and overpriced. I'll tell you, it looks like the UK is just being run over. You know, their laws are being thrown down the tubes. They're losing their culture out there. The taxes are through the roof. I think you were the one that told me they're taxing gas out there 70%. You know, perhaps maybe moving to Brazil is a good deal. You know, the only thing I question, you move to somewhere else, you know, are you going to be in the same culture? Pepe El Toro says, you have to have vision to complete the prayer. Listen, you know, you need to do the work yourself. You know, you just can't sit there and pray and expect everything to come to you. You need to do the work. UK is about to be steamrolled. Fuel tax is about 90%. I thought it was 70%. So yeah, it's a robbery. And we were talking about this on our last live stream, how, you know, most of these taxes are just theft out there. They're just theft. Derek McLean says, yeah, just because you meditate does not mean you have control of the universe. That's a joke to me. Yeah, well, there you go. But that's not a joke to some other people. There's some people that think that they're in control because of things like The Secret, things like the Hermetic principles, like the Kabbalah or whatnot. And, you know, those things, in a way, they teach that they don't teach the way of God. They don't teach that there's a higher power. They try to say that it's all you. That, you know, it puts you at the center. So it's like, it's like an egotistical way of operating. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Now, I'll tell you this, though. If you are in a simulation, you could be the master of the simulation. So a certain extent, that type of stuff works if you're in a simulation. But once you start tuning into reality and start getting grounded and looking at the truth, I think that perhaps maybe you'll see things differently. Pepe says, you know what's crazy? That the algorithm for FaceTime in the phones, the engineers behind that have no idea how it works, they made it. I think there's a typo there, but yeah, that what you're saying, that the engineers don't understand everything of the algorithm, that's possible, yeah. Now, we talked about this yesterday, I believe. There's a bug on FaceTime that if you call someone and they don't answer, and you try to add them to a group, you can listen to everything they're saying off through their microphone on the phone, even if they didn't answer the phone. It's a bug. You guys could check it out on Google it. It's already been brought to Apple's attention, but it's a way to spy on people. And apparently there's already been cases out there, people being spied on out there. So there is a fix. They're saying that you should turn off your FaceTime completely, and that won't happen. So you may want to look into that. Richard O says, there can be hundreds of thousands of facts, but only one truth. Derek McLean says, is evolution fact or theory? That it's the theory of evolution, Derek. It's the theory. That's what they even teach it like that in school. And they say it's the theory of evolution. They don't say it's the fact of evolution. Okay. And if it was a fact and if it was scientific fact, then they would be able to recreate it in a laboratory because it'd be science and it'd be based on fact. And science experiments that are true are recreatable all the time. Just like the technology on your iPhone is true. And that's why they're able to recreate a bunch of iPhones that all work based on the science. Now, is evolution right now it's called the theory of evolution. Is it a fact or not? Right now it's just a theory. Okay, that's not to say that they won't prove it or not, but I'm just saying right now it's just a theory. That's the thing with biologists too. I mean, they don't do math. They don't understand statistics. You ask a biologist, so what's the rate of evolution in this species? You know, like what's the average rate of evolution of, I don't know, like monkeys? And they'll be like, oh, we don't know. Well, then, you know, there's no math. There's nothing to, what are you comparing it to? It's just a bunch of talk. They can't give you an average rate of evolution. So like you can't even backtrack it. So right now it's not science. Okay. It's not science. It's just theory. And, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad theory or not. I mean, you know, it's sort of convincing, but, you know, you got to understand fact from simulation. I think mankind used to be wiser. Try building the pyramids today. Well, that's the thing, revolutionists. Mankind throughout history was more tuned in to the good, to the creator, to God himself. And civilizations were built more on theocracy than they are on a bunch of memes nowadays. You know, now they try to make you believe that you run your own self and women's right to choose and all this BS. And that's not God's law. It's not God's law. I think more people were tuned into God's law before, and they were able to do other things like, you know, perhaps build the pyramids. And we could talk about, you know, theories that civilization is a lot older than what is being taught to us in school. There's evidence showing there on the Sphinx that there's water erosion that could make the Sphinx over 30,000 years old, as opposed to the mainstream narrative that's 8,000 years. So, you know, again, there's a lot of lies out there. I think I'm good in Texas. There's a lot of untouchable tribes in Brazil. Look what happened when Europeans landed in South America. Two ethnic groups collide and produce a nuclear explosion of deadly. Yeah, I mean, you know, I would say that it, you know, I understand why people are becoming expats, leaving their country and going to other countries and trying to set up shop there. But, you know, that's not a solution for the macro perspective. I think people need to hold the fort down and improve themselves at home. And clean up their room and clean up their own house out there. And maybe too late or not. But I'm kind of more on Pepe's side. Stay in your homeland and defend and make it better at home. Derek McLean says Europeans damn near wiped out entire races back then of native people. You know, and that there's a lot of mainstream media too that's trying to villainize all of Europe too. But I think that every single part of the world has had killers and people that are trying to steal land. It's not exclusive to the Europeans. But that's mainstream media that they're trying to paint them as the bad guys because there is a plan to try to wipe out Europe. Okay, and you see it, and you got revolutionists already telling you out there in the UK it's looking bad. So, you know, don't blame it on the Europeans. I wouldn't blame it on them at the end of the day. You could also say that the native people, they just didn't have a strong enough immune system. You could say that as well. How come they didn't have a strong immune system? You know, you could look at it both ways. I'm not here to try to villainize any group of people. I think that's a meme too. That's how they divide people, you know. Sebastian says, love the stream, buy Bitcoin, by the way, people. Absolutely. Have a bit, throw it under the mattress, throw it under the pillow. And while you're at it, get some gold and silver as well. They're not in competition. They move in tandem. Crypto Ninja's out here. What up, Big C? I see you out there, Crypto Ninja. Welcome to the stream. Pepe says no one owns the earth. I don't think we said anything like that. I mean, that's not the case being said here. Sebastian says, which reminds me, I just bought gold and silver last week. Got to go check my mailbox. Be right back. Shout out to you. And there's websites out there where you could buy gold and silver with Bitcoin. JM Bullion and others. SD Bullion, I think. They accept the bits. You can buy gold and silver with bits as well. Jigger Rome says there's a channel by Chief Micah that says blacks were the real native peoples and most in America are not from Africa. Yeah, you know, I'm not into those theories that, you know, that blacks are the only real people and that the Europeans were made in a laboratory by some gentleman 6,000 years ago. I'm not falling for that meme. And I you know, I know a lot of Afrocentrists that buy into that meme, and I think that's prejudice, and it's trying to divide people. No, there was 12 tribes of Judah, and I think they were scattered all around the world, and they may look all different. So no, I don't buy that meme. You know, I throw it out the box. In a lab, that's just crazy. Yeah. Oh well, no, it does sound crazy, but people really buy into it. You know, a lot of what the Farrakhan talks about in the 5% Nation of Islam is based on that the black man is the original man and that the white man is a scientific experiment. You know, that's what they preach out there. Ultimately, that's what they believe. I'm not buying into that meme. Quran says is in the house. Hello, I'm here for the meditation in the boomer. Shout out to Quran. Indeed, we were talking about meditation, and I gave my personal opinion. You know, I used to meditate all the time, and I've had some benefits from meditation. You gather your thoughts, you calm yourself down. Yes, there's benefits from meditation, but as time progressed and I became more enlightened, I believe I came to a realization for myself that meditation is just a simulated prayer. And I use that word simulation because simulations are not real. So you're dealing with like a counterfeit prayer, in my opinion. So if you could do both, which would you pick? The real or the counterfeit? Okay. And I think once you go down the other route of the reality, you could have a better results by sitting down and tuning into the frequencies. And again, that's my opinion. I'm not, dealing with facts out here. I'm dealing with faith, which there's difference. I'm not saying this is scientifically proven. I'm not saying none of that stuff. I'm expressing my faith to you guys. Giants helped the Aztecs and Mayans build the pyramids and corrupt them with their evil nature. American says they were cannibals. A bunch of bones from giants found in Peru. Okay, yeah, I've heard about the giants and stuff too, and that may be true. I don't know. Derek says humans came from Africa, but humans are all different races, so being black or white is irrelevant. Yeah, that's what they teach us, though. But you know what? Did everybody come from Africa, or was people scattered from the beginning all throughout the world? Okay, I mean, again, it sounds like a good, convincing. Like it all started here in Africa and then everybody moved around. And, I don't know. I haven't seen hard evidence of that. Okay. There's some evidence that is coincidental, but I haven't seen hard evidence. I don't know if it's true or not. Pepe says white people came from Mars. Yeah, that could be a whole nother meme too, right? And then these ancient alien theories, they want to make you believe that it's I think that show Ancient Aliens used to be good in the first season, but that's a psyop disinformation as well. It's psyop disinformation. You could see that most of the mainstream media is designed to take you away from the good word of the Lord, if you ask me, guys. Disinformation and a lot of BS, if you ask me. If it's official truth, I don't believe it, says Revolutionist. I know Revolutionist is a skeptic or whatnot, and maybe you don't believe with everything that Champagne's saying, but I appreciate you rocking here with the best of them out there, Revolutionist. Kaboom to you. Yeah, I always thought it was a fact humans came from Africa, but I need to fact check. Right, it sounds, convincing, but where's the hard evidence? I haven't seen it. Yeah, they say that, everybody spread from Africa. I don't know. I mean, it's a good story and I'm not against it, it's cool, but I haven't necessarily been convinced now that I really start separating the fact from the fiction, the men from the mice, the feast from the famine, the boomers from the doomers. Blood type RH negative is interesting. I don't know much about the blood type stuff, Karan, and I'm glad you brought it up, but that has to do with diet and exercise as well. And apparently there's different diets that are better with different blood types. I forgot that somebody one time here in the population of the chat box mentioned it. I don't know about RH negative blood. You know, I don't know much about that stuff. So, you know, I can't give you my personal opinion, but I know that there's theories about blood and different diets, and that furthermore also that some different blood types can't mate, is what I heard too. I don't know if that's true or not. Like if you're a particular blood type, that you're only compatible with other types of bloods. I don't know. Is that the lizard blood type? I like that, Jigger Romes. That's a good one. Like if you're lizard blood, you definitely can't mate with people from Africa. The revolutionist says, I think that us humans evolve all around the world, and our scared colors are simply dictated by the weather conditions that we adapted to in our local area. You know, I'll tell you off the top, I kind of believe that too. I can see some validity in that, but again, I don't have any hard evidence, so I don't know. And here's the thing too, like if that's true, then where's the evidence of people evolving right now? You know, like, could we put that in a lab, and could we put someone from Africa in a cold environment, and can we track their evolution, and do they become whiter? Because I haven't seen that. Okay. So again, I'm not the scientist, guys. I'm not saying anything that I'm saying here is based on science. I'm giving my personal opinion. But yeah, revolutionists, I mean, I kind of lean towards that hypothesis. It seems like that could be tested if it was scientific. I mean, you know, it seems like a reasonable hypothesis. I just don't know if it's true. Pepe says, there's a theory, a bunch of alien races, different kind, have contacted us in the past as imposters so we can worship them as gods. Yeah, that's a theory. And, you know, I'll tell you, it doesn't even have to be aliens. It could be another, you know, it could be just another group of people that tries to act like they're ordained by God. This was the problem with the monarchies. A lot of these kings, a lot of these popes out there, they try to say that they're the only plug to the Lord. And, you know, they wanted to be worshipped as well. So, you know, it doesn't even have to be aliens. It could be done by humans themselves. Yeah, why is there still apes, and why they haven't evolved into humans? Exactly. And Pepe says white people got that lizard blood. You know, there's people that they try to throw all white people and say they're all bad people, but I think that's a meme too, man. I think that's a meme too. You gotta tip your hat to European culture as well, because they've done a lot of good. They've done a lot of good, but you know they don't want to expose that, because there's critical theory at hand to completely destroy the Western civilization. And that's going to be a topic of another live stream, the Frankfurt School and critical theory. A lot of the social justice and Marxist, cultural Marxism that's going on is founded with the Frankfurt School and critical theory. It's a bunch of BS, and they're trying to villainize white people as well. I'm white, and I do believe that if my kids move to Africa with other white people, and over time they would evolve to have darker skin, which tends to handle hotter weather better. Just my thought. Yeah, but you know, are they going to become black, or are they just going to be dark? They're going to be white people with dark skin. You know, there's a difference. You know, and then furthermore, is the opposite true? If an African family moved to the United Kingdom, will they become white in like 100 years? You know, I don't know. Ape to human, that's as bad as fish to humans. There you go, Karan. That we're questioning it. And we're letting the people know that, reminding them, it's the theory of evolution. It's not the fact of evolution, nor is it the science of evolution either. Revolutionist says, yes, I believe they will become black. Okay, and that's, you know, that's your hypothesis, and it needs to be tested scientifically and proven scientifically, not just with a group of people. It needs to always happen the same way. Okay, for it to be scientific fact, it needs to be reproducible all the time. And I haven't seen that. Okay. He says maybe over 5,000 years, but yes, yeah, you know, I don't know if that's true or not. You know, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'm not the scientist. I'm just telling you, I'm not the scientist. Pepe says, how come in Australia they're not all black? There you go. You see? But again, guys, I'm not saying that, you know, I got all the answers out here or anything like that. You know, I'm just sharing my faith, what I believe to be true. And also, I think it's important to question things critically and reasonably with logical reasoning, okay? That's something that they just don't teach in schools now. They're logical reasoning. If X, then Y, then you got to break that down if it's true. Jigger Rome says, eventually your kids will interbreed. You know, I don't know what the point of that is. That comment, you know, that could be true. It could be false. You know, I really don't care. White Australians are not native. They are from Europe. Native Australians are black. The Revolutionist says they are all darker skins in Australia until the UK whites went there. Yeah, but like, are people in Australia becoming black? White people in Australia becoming black because of they're in a different climate region? I haven't necessarily seen that. I mean, I've seen people with darker tans, but they look different than someone from Africa. So I don't know. You know, again, I haven't seen it reproduced scientifically. So color eyes is a mutation. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but there's a theory that black women, that's how humans supposed to look. Again, it's a theory, and there's all kinds of theory. And that's the thing out there. You know, a lot of theories are being passed as fact out there, and they're being taught as fact. And that's really what, you know, the point I'm trying to get across here is that, you know, it's important for you to do your own research and figure out whether this is just a theory or it's a fact. Just because you think something sounds good, like Revolutionist thinks that, you know, that moving in climate regions will change your race. He thinks that. You know, that's cool, but he hasn't tested it. Okay. And neither have I, for that matter. So I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just trying to make the distinction. If you're just tuning in, it's the voice here. We've been streaming for some time now, talking about meditations. And, you know, I was a meditator. I was a meditator until I became a prayer. Okay. And I find better results sticking directly to the source. 15 crypto maniac, brother. I appreciate all you maniacs here. When we have these types of discussions out here, you know, they could easily devolve into a argument. But I'm glad that they don't. You know, you guys have open discussions, and I appreciate you, maniacs. What's the point of having all this tech to find out that nature had it right from the beginning? The tech helps us sometimes, you know. Sometimes you use the tech for good. You know, using technology for a good thing. Or are you fapping till 3 in the morning watching some degenerate Pornhub? It's on you. Take a few more comments and questions before I take off. Baby Champagne is up now, and I'm going to hang out with the young boomer. Family first out there, guys. Shout out to Pepe, Revolutionist, Derek McLean, Jigger Romes, Karan, and the rest of the boomers out there. Great discussion today. And I'm not telling you not to meditate. I'm just trying to bring it to your attention here that perhaps you may find a better experience dealing with what I believe is more grounded in reality than simulation. Moving to a hotter place won't make your kids have darker skin forever. It's just a mutation that's better for that climate. Yeah, I don't know, Derek. I don't know. I don't think that just necessarily moving climate. I don't know. I just don't know. I tend to kind of halfway agree with both of you guys, but I haven't tested it, so I don't know. Pepe says, check out David Sinclair, a biologist from Harvard, was on Joe Rogan the other day. Talks about it, but Joe Rogan, guys, I'm not feeling Rogan nowadays. I'm not, Rogan used to be kind of like a trailblazer and he was like anti-PC. And now like he's kind of toned it down. He probably has too many sponsors. I don't know if he's with the deep state, guys. I'm not trusting Rogan nowadays. I'm not trusting Rogan nowadays. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's still a good guy. And, I give him his props because he's a trailblazer in live streams and podcasts or whatnot. But nowadays, I'm not sure about him. Coran says Joe Rogan equals shill. I don't know. It's definitely feeling that way. It's kind of feeling that way. Like I said, I don't have direct evidence, and he does seem like a good guy, but he doesn't seem like as good as a guy as he used to be. I'll be honest with you guys. Jigger Rome says Joe Rogan's 4'9". I know Jigger must be listening to Owen Benjamin. Yeah, I mean, perhaps Joe Rogan is maybe even just 4 foot, and that's what the Bears out there are saying. But yeah, I seen you guys tuning into him. And I told you guys about him last week. I mean, he's been going hard too. And they were buffering his live streams too. It's not just Champ. They were buffering all kinds of people's live streams. People from places closer to the equator have darker skin because dark skin is a natural sunscreen. That sounds reasonable. I mean, is it scientifically true? I haven't seen it proved, but it sounds reasonable. I don't tend to disagree with that statement. But then again, Derek, think about this. How about like indigenous people in Alaska? Okay, like the Eskimos are brown skinned people. They're not white as snow. So there seems to be an inconsistency there. Okay, why are Eskimos not like white as snow? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm just I'm questioning things. Pepe said he was supposed to have Kanye, but something happened. Really? That would be interesting. His fireside chats are blowing up. It's only a matter of time before they knock him offline permanently. He's going too hard. Which is a good thing. I respect it. But it's a matter of time. So hopefully he's got his own station set up. Shout out to Truce in the building. I see Truce was coming in at the last second. Truce about to wrap up here, and you're stepping in at the last second. Hopefully you get your notification a little earlier out there, Truce. But yeah, Owen B, I would say right now is one of the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not revolutionary. I'm just saying he's pushing the line more than almost anybody I've seen on YouTube. That's mainstream. Obviously he comes from the mainstream. There's other channels that they go deeper, but that's what it is. Shout out to Coran. He says Joe Rogan's a shill. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. And Jigger Romes is right. Rogan's probably like 4'9". Eddie Bravo's keeping an eye on Rogan. Yeah. Shout out to Eddie. I like that he thinks out the box. I'm just not a flat earther. I'm not buying into that one out there, but I'm not trying to ridicule these flat earthers. At least they're trying to think out the box and ask questions, but I'm not one of those. All right, guys, I'm going to tune down 15 Crypto Maniacs. I appreciate y'all, you guys. Truce, Pepe, Coran, Jigger, Romes, Derek, McLean, Pepe, all the boomers out there, everybody that's showing love positively. I appreciate it out there. Thank you guys so much. Champagne never thought I'd be leading the boomers to crypto victories out there. Derek says, I think Eskimos are people who migrated from Asia and Eurasia, or you think, but we don't know. That's there, If revolutionist theory was fact, then Eskimos should be whiter than snow. But I haven't seen them looking whiter than snow. They're still brown. So I don't know, guys. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But you know, I'm asking questions. Jiggerome says, Champ, do you believe in Santeria? Is it satanic? No, I don't believe in Santeria. You know, it's like a mix between African voodoo and Christianity. And is it satanic? Arguably, you know, if it's not on the nose of what the good word is, and if it's just a remix or a meme, it could be. Yeah, you know, I'm not even looking into it that deep or questioning it that much because no, I'm not believing in it, you know. And if you're one of those that follows that, then all good for you. I'm not here to try to change people's mind or debate with people over the religion or whatnot. I'm just here to trying to explain to you what my faith and my truth is. And I'm not going to say my truth because that sounds like some lefty stuff. What I believe is true, because that my truth is you know, that can be a slippery slope. There's a tribe that still hunts and eats humans in Indonesia. I'm not surprised. Is that the tribe that shot the or killed the gentleman that tried to go and profess Christianity? You know, he tried to bring the good book, and they it's like a island off the coast of what, Thailand or Indonesia, and this was news for a while. And he tried to go over there with the good book, and they got him. That's, you know, as much as I like the good book or whatnot, you know, he should have known. Derek says, I'm pretty sure Rev's theory is false. But you don't know, and neither do I. And, you know, I respect revolutionists because I kind of thought that way too. It kind of makes sense, but we just don't know. It hasn't been tested in being able to reproduce, you know, on a massive scale. So we just don't know. I'm questioning, if you believe people's skin colors are only based on their climate region, then why are Eskimos brown? I don't know. I don't know. North Sentinel Island off India. There you go, Jiggeromes. Yeah, North Sentinel. So maybe Revolutionist is talking about another tribe in Indonesia. I don't know. But yeah, guys, I'm going to tune down this broadcast. Always a pleasure. Guys, make sure you check out the last live stream we did. If you want to talk more about crypto, we talked about Trump perhaps appointing someone that's crypto friendly as the president of the World Bank, not the new World Bank, of the World Bank. So I don't know, you know, if that's a good or a bad thing, but I got my eye on them. Hey, Champ, has anyone ever told you that you sound like Patrick Bet Davis? I don't know who that is. Is that the guy from Valuetainment? I don't know. Okay, yeah, the Valuetainment YouTube channel. Really? Okay, I don't know. I mean, he's cool. I like the guy. I like him. He seems like a cool guy. He's all about business, though. That guy's all about business. You know, it's all good. I like business as well, but I would like to hear him talk more about spiritual things. I follow him, and I definitely caught his interview with Alex Jones. That was fun. All right, Big Truce, Derek, Jiggeromes, Pepe, Coran, Revolutionist, the rest of the boomers out there. I appreciate all you maniacs. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my weekend. You guys should do the same thing. And, you know, if you're meditating, perhaps maybe you should check out prayer, and maybe you'll get better results. Maybe. Okay, I'm just saying maybe. You know, Champ doesn't got all the answers. I'm just letting you know how I look at things. Voice of the blockchain, baby. Indeed. Your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. They're out there and they're listening. There's a lot of closeted YouTubers that they frequent the broadcast, try to pick up on some slang out there, and they don't show any love. But guys like Truce pass by, and they're not scared to drop a little comment. Guys, check out Truce. He's a comedian, crypto comedian, and I see he did some skits. And I haven't checked out all your skits, but I saw a couple of them, maybe a few of them, maybe like 2 or 3. I skimmed through, and I like the fact that you know, you're doing it yourself. Like, you play your different characters, so it seems like it's all self-produced, and you know, I respect that, Truce. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a good weekend, Champ. Indeed, Derek. Indeed. Shout out to Truce, Derek, Jiggeromes, and the rest of the boomers out there. I appreciate all your maniacs. Go enjoy your weekend out there. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks.